Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Friday closing bell for the 21 of August 2015. As most of you have seen, the entire regional market as well as US did sell off as it is. Now, remember that yesterday, which is a Thursday night, Dow Jones came off almost 300 points, as you can see from here, 358 points, which is a 2%, and also taking a cue from the regional sell off that really started from the Chinese or China devaluation of yuan, and then the dong also devalued, just to say in part. So what has happened now? We have this thing called a currency war, when the regional currency are competing with each other, fighting to lower down their rate so they remain in competitive as China remain to devalue. That has taken a really a route into the market. As you can see, only one that is really holding the market is Thailand and KLCI. Partly is because a lot of foreign fund is already left the market. So what is left is just the institution, a little bit of those what we call permanent foreign fund left. That's what the market were down this morning, almost 20 points. I will show you next, but it closed back up. Just a small loss, minus 2.47. So the next question you will be asking is, how low can it get? Now remember, this weekend on Sunday, 23rd of August, we will be doing our investment conference that we've been doing. It's a small fee just to cover up the cost. Now, if you've been following our closing bell, which you should come for our investment conference, which is only a small fee, and this is you will definitely get more than what you pay for, including the lunch. That's for sure from me. So I hope so. I see you there at on the 23rd of August. Let me just show you what I mean here. Our IVSA chart. It's very interesting that many of our subscribers in here have never attended any of this so-called investment conference that we're doing, and we're doing partly for to tell you where is the market opportunity. So hopefully I like to see you there on Sunday. If you've been listening to me and you are a subscriber of the Traders Truth Reviewer, you should make an effort to come. We have still some seats available. Myself, I'll be talking. Nigel, which is a good friend, my small cap sector, and also Mr. Law, the Ocean Cash Pacific Bahat, will be speaking in this conference. I hope to see you there all right? Now let's go on to our regular programs in here. Start off with the charts that I have here. So as you can see, the market very went through this selling as soon as looking back my notes in here. Next downtrend is likely to 1540 when the market broke through, which is the 14 in here. When that thing broke through 1600, I said, my God, there's going to be a lot more selling. But what's really good now, you can notice the last two bars hasn't been that great, except for this one in here. It poked through lower. This one, you can see the volume almost dried up in here. That is which is a good sign because the absence of seller. Unlike up here, we have this line change. You could see on hindsight, market did go up higher to break through the 50-day moving average. But guess what? That is likely a no demand bar. As you can see, the volume. Let me just show you the volume here. This is 13.1, 16, and this was 16. So that's a really no demand bar. Typically, when it push up high on that one, no demand bar, when it breaks down, that doesn't look very good. So what you have seen now, let me show you a weekly chart here. Right, you can see we have broken down the so-called the 5-year low, which is in here 1722, almost 100 point down in almost 2 weeks. Where is the next support in here? Yeah, where's the next support? That's a very good question, but for the time being, we are looking at 1500. Still remain my support, which is the 20% from the top. So what I'd like to talk more about on this weekend, 23rd of August, I hope to see you there. It's a bit on market correction and how low we can get. Okay, how low we can get. Let me just make a note out here. Okay, what I want to show you next is the mid cap stock. Now mid cap stock did hold up nicely in here, but again story remained the same too. We are seeing a regional sell-off in here. Ringgit when we started off were about 4.17 today. I think 4.2 has already been discussed by a lot of people, and we have and that's not doing too well on the ringgit as I said before, in here, hopefully a base building in here. That is going to pull this 50-day moving average right way down. So there's a lot of sideway moving here because gravitational to the so-called mid of the 50-day moving average will be seen here. Now on the small cap stock, we are seeing an old base when it started off in, yeah, that was the lowest in December. It went up as high as almost 200 points, where small cap stock done very well, and since then been really sell off in here. We are seeing some sort of one eye Joe trade in here. 14100 level is the level to be breaking up in here. I'll be interested to see if we can really break that up. Other than that, all things are pointing to downwards. Okay, let's look at the foreign fund, which is not uh, surprise at all. If you look back the last 5 days, almost 1.4 billion, 1.37 billion been sold out. Really, it has been just selling, selling, and selling by foreign funds in there. And it almost 100 million every day. It's now my question is, when will it stop? We are seeing a lot of selling in here. Surprisingly, you've been going through a lot of selling. So foreign funds are still in. I thought they would have left, with the bad history that we have with the 1MDB going on. There should be even surprised that actually there are some in here. But let's look at the so-called CPO. Now CPO has broken down below 2000 in here today, finally closing 1986. You have volume in here. That's going to be tested. It's not going to be easy trading this chart because we are in a sideways market in here. Market can go up or down. There's not really much of an edge here to trade this. Having said that, you can see if you switch on the weekly chart, okay, you can see trend are pretty much down. We have a nice spike in here. It can go both ways. So look at the day, look at the base, try to trade at the support in here for the CPO. For the KLIA, as FKLIA, you can see market open gap down, really close it up to 1564, as high up to 66.5, which is not too bad actually. Think of it. Volume is holding up in here. It's been moving sideways for 4 days. We see whether next week we have another sell down for that one. Tough again. Also for the Singapore market, STI been since broke down. You have this what we call a dead cross. A lot of foreign funds have been leaving Singapore, so we can see this really sell off almost 350 points, almost a 10% drop in 2 weeks. No wonder a lot of Singaporean trading these shares are really say get me out, get me out. And if you switch to a weekly chart, that's a tall tale sign why a lot of bloggers are out there have been very, very quiet and just turning short is the trend of the day. Okay, trend of the day just turned short. You can see that. Wow, what a widespread bar. The last time we saw this was here, and then finally stops about 2006, which is almost at this level in here back when we first saw our Greek default likely crisis. Okay, not good news, definitely not good news, ladies and gentlemen. Now going forward on the regional market in here, let me just quickly bring you up to speed. Okay, looking at Dow Jones, and we'll look at the WIX market too after this. Dow Jones had a very horrible day. This does look like a weekly chart. When I saw this doji, I said I was really excited that this market could retest back the 50-day moving average. But as I said before, we are looking into the gun barrel of the US interest rate hike, which is coming, which I've been talking for weeks, sometime anticipated at mid September 2015. So that is breaking down, and it's been going down almost 200-day moving average at 1780, 710. So the market holding up 17100 in here. If you, in the scheme of all things, if you look at it, it has really broken through, and that's what we saw, this huge selling here. The lowest point was 17125. It just clipped through it, and now all the way down to close at just below 1700. Today we might see a rebound back to the low 170, but remember resistance is about 17130. It might just poke up in here and continue to sell until we get some sort of stabilization on the confirmation of US interest being high. Then market can go on to its so-called trend. But as you can see now in here, it's pretty definite. We have a mushrooming in here. How low can it go? That's a good question, and everyone in US are talking about what we call corrections, market correction in here. Looking at Australia, same thing too. Oops, for that one. Now looking at Australia also, in a very short span of 2 weeks, market just broke down below the 50 and continued just to sell off, just like any other markets in here. We have the 5,700 level, couldn't break through, and now we have 5,200 level in here, breaking it down. Same goes for Hang Seng. It's very similar all over the picture, all over the world. We can see breaking below 200-day, and this was the lowest at it then July and breaking down. That's why on the technical side, technical analysts don't like this kind of market when you break through. And the same goes for Shanghai. For the first time, it could not held above the 200 moving average. As such, it broke through in here. Today, I believe the Shanghai index, which is down 4%, ladies and gentlemen, 4%. And that's quite a lot. And everyone is shouting, get me out, get me out, I don't want to be in this kind of market in here, but rest assured, with these corrections, a lot of opportunity to be buying. As you can see in Singapore, even Nikkei has broken below the 50-day moving average 1, 2, 3. So it has become a global pandemic sell-off in here, partly due to the interest rate. And I think it's coming. I haven't seen this kind of sell-off for a very long time. Okay, let's go on to looking at wicks in here. Now, one of the reasons why we are seeing so high spike is that we are first time seeing 19.14 for the wicks, and we're looking at next level of support, okay, which is around 20 and 21. That's, I think tonight we're going to be breaking through for that level in here, because we are seeing so much fear in that. As this is the maxim of Warren Buffett: be greedy when others are fearful. Be greedy when others are fearful. So it might stand a chance, but again, think to buy. You want to see climatic actions in here, stage one accumulation before you buy, else it's just going to be going down and down and down and down. Okay, take note of that one. Right, so wicks, and one of the reasons why is also crude oil did break below the this one in here, which is the 50 US dollar, and zooms straight up to about 40.98. That's also a tall tale sign because of Iran coming in there. So country like Malaysia, which is highly dependent on oil and gas, have seen the market really taking a beating as the market continues to go selling in here. So that's what we got, a 1500 level. Okay, let's look at the stocks that we chose last week, which is not